Here's to feeling good all the time.
My name is George. I'm unemployed and I live with my parents.
Hey, you know what would make a great coffee table book? A coffee table book about coffee tables.
I don't have a square to spare. I can't spare a square.
But I don't want to be a pirate!
Hello and welcome to Seincast, a retrospective on all 180 episodes of Seinfeld, being hosted by two guys who can barely run their own lives. My name is Vinny.
My name's Matthew, like the character in the show.
Oh, how you doing, you funny
Where's my fucking cupcake? I figured, we like to swear from time to time, but if there's one episode where we have to swear...
We owe it to this episode.
Yes.
To swear.
Absolutely. Well, before we get into discussing the episode proper, I figured we could introduce a new segment bringing up the things we missed or the major screw-ups from last week, pretty much. There's one in particular that I'm embarrassed to say we never picked up on this. And it wasn't until we released the episode that I'm like, oh my God, how do we miss something so obvious? We're talking, of course, about Jerry's VHS tapes. They changed. They were originally the black, VHS tapes with the white label on the side. Now they are those iconic movie slipcover cases. You've got Child's Play 2. I think Hunt for Red October's in there.
True Colors.
Pretty Woman. There you go. There's a lot up there. In fact, you know what?
There's a Tetris too, right?
Yes. When we visited the Hulu apartment set this past summer, they had the entire collection up there. You could get up close and personal. You could, definitely tell what movies were there. We'll post a photo of that online so everyone can see. I don't know about you, but for years, whenever they filmed Back by the Stereo, I would try to figure out which movies were there. I
got it on my phone right now.
Okay.
I'm looking at it. I got Tetris, SimCity, Super Spike, V-Ball. Those are all video games, Nintendo games. Then we got True Colors, Goodfellas, Pretty Woman. Then we have the Seinfeld statue. On the other side, we have
the Superman statue.
What did I say?
The Seinfeld.
Whoops. Thank you. Then we have Arachnophobia, Coco Cabana, Copacabana.
Coco.
Coco. That cabana's all right. Benny Hill's Video Follies, Child's Play 2, Back to the Future 3, Hunt for Red October, The Crying Game, and Wired.
Wow. A few of those tie into Seinfeld. My own personal Crying Game.
Yep.
What else here? George or Jason Alexander was in Pretty Woman.
Yep.
Anyways, so that was something we screwed up on last week. Apologies if that bothered anyone. We didn't get any listener feedback on that one, but I'm sure it bothered at least one person out there.
Are you anticipating us making a lot of mistakes in the future? Is that why this is becoming a segment?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think we make a few mistakes every episode.
Oh yeah.
But some of them I think are worth bringing up. Others are just, hey, what are you gonna do?
That was a good catch by you. I would have missed that one completely. So that's all you.
Let's move on to some news.
Hey, I got news for you.
Great news. All right, I got news. You ready?
Larry David, once again, killing it on SNL. This past week, he returned as Bernie Sanders. In the cold open, it was the MSNBC, what do they call it? It's not the town hall. It's like this really weird sit-down chat. that
right. Rachel Maddow was the one hosting, correct?
No, it wasn't Rachel. It was someone on SNL playing her.
She was playing Rachel Maddow.
Yeah. I actually thought it was the real Rachel Maddow at first. It was dead on. But anyways, all of the, you have your Hillary Clintons, your Lincoln Chafee. Well, I think actually Lincoln Chafee dropped out. But Larry David returned as Bernie Sanders, and he was great. It really was following the success of his first appearance.
Oh, yeah.
Which just blew up. I mean, that was totally unexpected, caught everyone by surprise.
Well, to get this bit of a recluse to come out and actually, reprise this role that he just killed the first time, it's really reminiscent of Tina Fey kind of coming back on SNL to do Sarah Palin because it was so popular and she did such a great job, and she looks just like the actual person, as does Larry David with Bernie Sanders.
Right.
So,
I mean, they're I don't know if they're born in the same year, but they're around the same age. They're both Jewish from Brooklyn. Come on. I mean, they're
somebody said that I saw an article. Larry David's been prepping for this role his whole life, and Curb is just him getting ready to play Bernie Sanders.
Yeah. Interesting theory. I gotta say though, this cold open wasn't nearly as good as the debate. I just love that proper one where you have all you had Alec Baldwin up there. It went overlooked, I think, by most people, but I love the guy who plays Lincoln Chafee. Very funny, but all about Larry, man. He's great. I wonder how far they're going to carry this. I know SNL really benefits from the election season because it's just ripe for parody.
Ripe.
So I assume this will keep going as long as Bernie Sanders is in the running and he's still current, topical. It didn't just end with that cold open. You didn't see the cold open. I did. You saw the what do you call it? The monologue with Donald Trump as host.
Did.
And Larry David shows up again, right?
Yep. Trump came out, and then he had two other Trumps. To Trump to his left, a Trump to his right. We had Daryl Hammond as well as what's his name? Killam? I forget it.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking
about? He's married to Kobe Smothers.
Yeah, what's his name?
Colby or whatever it is. Oh, God. Move on.
We have derailed.
Keep
that
going.
guy.
Yeah.
The other guy. But, Trump's doing his thing. The other Trump's doing their thing. And then all of a sudden, off camera, you hear, "You're a racist." And Trump makes this face like, "Oh, here we go." And sure enough, they cut off screen, and it's Larry David, and he's in civilian clothes. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "That's right. I called you a racist. This group told me if I call you a racist, they'll give me $5,000. So I'm here." He did his kind of casual Larry thing.
That was it.
And Trump responded, "Hey, that's a good business opportunity." So he took it in stride, and it was a good. I think some people thought, "Is this real?" But it was definitely a staged moment.
Well, I did read that there were people outside protesting having Trump on because of his comments and just all the racist remarks he's made over the past couple of months. I was actually shocked that he was hosting the show. I mean, shocked on one hand, not surprised on the other. But I was even more surprised that Larry David showed up because I'm not an SNL watcher and I love waking up on Sunday. Now it's gone. It's happened twice, and you see those tweets or messages from people like, "Oh my God, Larry David, SNL."
People are writing on the Seincast page, which is how I'm finding out. Mm-hmm. Larry's been on SNL again. You know, so it's nice.
It's great. I really hope they keep it going as long as possible. I assume if Bernie Sanders were to be the presidential nomination or the Democratic nomination, I doubt he'll be playing it for the long haul. But I'm enjoying it as much as I can right now, for sure.
Cassie David, Larry's daughter, on her Instagram, she also posted a picture of Larry getting ready, putting on his suit. Yeah.
Oh my God, I have to see.
I thought you would have saw that.
No, I didn't. I don't follow her. I should. I thought that. Well, I thought that one image of the two of them on the Civil War battlefield was the last Larry David picture because that blew up.
The wig's on, the suit's on. He just, I think, had to put on his button, but she took a mirror selfie and said, "Hey, getting ready to do another Bernie Sanders appearance."
That's wild. Speaking of an SNL alum, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Let me start over. I found this video clip on YouTube of Julia Louis-Dreyfus on an old Sesame Street episode from 1994. She's got the wall of hair, looks fantastic. But what's so funny about this clip is it's a blooper, an outtake. And she swears a little bit, which kind of fits in with this week's episode, right?
Totally fitting. The one episode of Seinfeld you associate with swearing and just profanity, hence the bleeps. You managed to find this clip. It's Kismet.
I'll start.
Even louder.
And then you're going to shush me, right?
Yeah, I'm going to shush you, yeah.
And count.
In 5, 4, 3, 2.
So that's it. Shh. The grump needs.
Sorry.
He said a bad word. $5.
I'm going to be a rich Muppet at the end of this day.
I just love that clip. I've watched it 50 times. I can't get enough of it.
I feel like Elmo's almost flirting with Elaine there.
Yeah, I feel like those Muppeteers definitely have a dirty sense of humor. You can't be doing that kind of show
all day
for years, even decades, and not not have like a somewhat of a dirty sense of humor. But yeah, man, this video is hilarious, and I'm really happy. I posted it on Reddit, and it really took off. So I'm glad that a lot of people are getting a kick out of it, because it's just one of those great gems that you just sort of stumble across every once in a while.
Way to spread the good cheer there.
Yeah, there you go.
It's funny. Another one of our Facebook followers posted that video got them started down the rabbit hole, and they just started looking and watching various YouTube clips. And I did the same thing. I watched a interview from it's post Veep, or at least the start of Veep, but she was interviewed by Time Magazine reporter, and they asked her 10 questions, and she was very gracious, and they touched on like, oh, you're the most successful Seinfeld alum, and she's like, well, I wouldn't say successful, I'd say lucky. And just very gracious in the way she spoke. And then they asked her one thing, if there's anything you could do differently, one thing you can change, what would you change? And she goes, I'd wear sunscreen.
Wow.
And the woman interviewing was like, you look great. And then she goes, that's because I got a lot of shit on my face right now. So she's all like, and she referred to herself as a clown, and she is. She's a beautiful clown.
Mm-hmm. I look back to her like early 2000 days. What was it? Watching Ellie. And
New Adventures of Old Christine.
But when that show came out, I remember we were in college, and that was very exciting because there was something known as the Seinfeld curse, where none of the supporting cast members, Jason, Michael, and Julia, could get any real successful project off the ground. Correct. Successful meaning, like not nearly as big a hit as Seinfeld, but something that lasted more than 1 or 2 seasons. Exactly. And that show really, I think, helped Julia kind of break that curse, or if there was even a curse to begin with,
Agreed.
Which then took her to Veep, and then, my God, I don't know where she's going to go next, but
she's doing feature films as well. Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we saw that James Gandolfini movie they did together.
Enough said.
Yeah. Okay. Oh wait, that's the name of the movie.
Uh-huh.
All right. Let's move on. Everyone, you can email us at seincast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram. Also, if you'd like to support the show, we have 2 options for you. Check us out on iTunes. Leave us a rating and review. We'd really appreciate it. Also, you can donate to the show, which is, as always, a huge help with the monthly hosting costs, getting a new show out each week. Head over to our Tumblr page. Look for the tab that says Donate. Thanks to everyone who has donated so far. Vinny, what episode do we got this week?
Episode 7, Season 5, The Non-Fat Yogurt, written by Larry David, directed by Tom Schronis, and originally airing November 4th, 1993.
Behind-the-scenes trivia for this episode is fucking nuts.
It really is.
Like,
lots to talk about this week.
Before we get into the nitty-gritty, though, wanted to bring this up right out of the gate. There was a commentary track on the DVD for this episode. Vinny and I kind of check out the DVDs before we record an episode of Seincast, just to pick any little bits of trivia we can off of them. And the commentary track was with Julia, Michael, and Jason. They didn't really have much to add to this episode other than saying how funny it was. However, Julia did drop one little nugget. That sounds so disgusting, but
go with it, my man.
She dropped one little nugget of trivia that we both found very amusing. You want to share it, Vinny?
She claims, and we believe her, that she was the one who contributed Elaine's middle name, Elaine Marie Bennis, which is really interesting because we learned her middle name back in season 1, or the first 5 episodes
in the stakeout. I think, yeah,
correct. I just had never heard it before. In all my years of watching Seinfeld, I never knew. I just assumed that was Larry who wrote that in as part of the character. But it's kind of nice that Julia takes a little bit of ownership of her character, and she contributed the middle name.
And that's like, as dull as that kind of trivia might seem, I find that the most interesting because it's just this little thing that you never would have guessed would have been Julia's idea. It's
exactly.
Just brilliant. Let's talk about the inspiration for this week's episode. With most Seinfeld episodes, Larry David, of course, drew from his own life. There was a new shop that opened in Studio City, California, where they were selling non-fat frozen yogurt. He didn't believe them. We do have word, though, that there was an investigation similar to the one in this episode. I don't know if Larry was the one who investigated it, or
can only hope,
or if the shop was investigated by some outside company. But I wonder if this happens a lot. Places claiming that they're non-fat, or claiming that that they're made with a certain ingredient and it's not in there at all. Or
Jerry said that a frozen yogurt chain in New York just in the past couple years was shut down for this very reason right here.
Oh, really? That's interesting. I wonder if non-fat yogurt was as popular back then as it is now. I feel like that's just such a trend, like all the toppings and ingredients, you can do it yourself.
Pinkberry. It's huge.
Pinkberry.
It became it's in a Curb episode.
Sure, you got red mango. I remember having a lot of TCBY as a kid. Did you have TCBY?
I don't think I ever went there, but I remember seeing that in the mall.
Okay.
But now we have Yogi Berry and the Sweet Frog. They're all over the place.
It's really out of control. There's a great line in the show Broad City. That's a show you need to watch, by the way, too.
Okay.
I'm giving Vinny a whole list of shows he needs to watch.
And I'm knocking them down.
But in Broad City, this one character is very overwhelmed with all the flavors. He's foreign, and he doesn't know what to do, and he's there until the store eventually closes. And the girl working there is just like, please, sir, just pick a flavor. They're all chemicals. None of it's real. Anyways, so the swearing in this week's episode, I would argue this episode is probably most known for the bleeps, the beeps, the squeaks. That actually came from the writing staff on Seinfeld, their efforts not to curse when Larry Charles would bring his daughter around to visit the offices.
That's very sweet.
Yeah. So they're like, oh, we should...
That's a show.
First appearance this episode, Lloyd Braun, the character.
Why can't you be more like Lloyd Braun?
Shocking to find out that this character is only in 3 episodes. I don't get
goodness.
that. It just doesn't make sense. He shows up in this episode, the Gum, and the Serenity Now.
Wow, that's it?
Yeah, that's it. That's all you got. But this is the first appearance of the Lloyd Braun character. He was named after one of Larry David's friends, who was, I think he was an entertainment lawyer.
At the time, he was a lawyer.
Right.
But then he went on to work as head of ABC Entertainment.
Wow, look at that. What's even more interesting than that, though, apparently he lost a bet with Larry, right?
That's correct. It was a golf bet. We don't know the nature of the golf bet, but because Larry won, he got the right to use Lloyd Braun's name in any way that he saw fit.
In an episode.
In a
right?
Seinfeld episode, yes.
Right.
And boy, did he make good on that bet.
The Lloyd Braun character in this episode, he can be a bit of an asshole, but...
Big, heaping...
But he kind of changes by the time we see him in the Gum and the Serenity Now. He kind of goes off the deep end.
Well, it's understandable. We can talk about this during the show, but you could argue it's because he had a mental breakdown after this campaign. I wonder what the stipulation of the bet would have been had Larry lost. What would Lloyd Braun have gotten had he beat Larry at this golf bet?
That's very interesting.
I got all these questions just waiting for when I meet Larry.
I'll be like, look, I don't have any change. Leave me alone. So... Big bit of trivia this week comes from the mayor election, the New York mayoral election of 1993. This is an insane story. Let's start at the beginning. The episode was filmed the week before the mayoral election on October 25th and 26th, 1993. Since they didn't have the results, 2 episodes had to be filmed. There was one where Rudolph Giuliani wins, and then there was one where the current mayor, David Dinkins, wins. It doesn't seem like that big of a deal. Just do 2 different episodes. But we're not talking about just, filming an alternate ending here. We're talking about 5 or 6 scenes they have to shoot 2 different ways.
And the reason that is because one of the characters for this week, Lloyd Braun, is an advisor to the losing party.
Yes.
But they don't know who that losing party is, hence why this is such a big deal.
Right. It kind of feels like a bizarro world, doesn't it? Because you can find... clips, I'm sure on YouTube, of the other version where Lloyd Braun works for Giuliani, because in that version Giuliani loses. And it's bizarre when you hear that dialogue come out of the character's mouth. You're like, no, they shouldn't be saying Dinkins.
No, he works for,
I'm sorry, they shouldn't be saying Giuliani, they should be saying Dinkins.
It's really apparent when you're at the Costanza's house and Lloyd Braun visits and Estelle is just beaming over, Mayor Dinkins mentioned your name. He's talking about you. And then there's an alternate scene where she's like, the running candidate, Giuliani, was talking about you. And it's like, whoa, that is so jarring to hear those words come out of her mouth.
I'm really glad it worked out the way it did. We'll get into it here, but it just clicks better that he works for Dinkins. I don't know. The fact that he works for the current mayor holds a lot more weight than him working for a candidate.
Right, because you could argue, and the characters do, that Braun is the one who lost the election.
Yes.
or the re-election for Dinkins.
Yes. Just destroyed his career.
Mayor Dinkins got an appointment for him?
You mentioned George's name to Mayor Dinkins? You discussed George with the mayor of New York?
Giuliani got him an appointment?
You mentioned George's name to Giuliani? You discussed George with possibly the next mayor of New York?
So they film all of the alternate scenes with, Lloyd Braun, him working for Dinkins, him working for Giuliani. Then they had to figure out, well, how do we announce the winner if the real life election isn't for another week? Again, these were filmed on the 25th and 26th of October. The election isn't until November 2nd. Well, the production team reached out to both Dinkins and Giuliani's people to see if they would want to be involved, depending on who won. Giuliani apparently was game, but Dinkins, poor little Dinkins, he didn't want anything to do with it, apparently. This is the mayor of New York. Didn't want to have anything to do with filming a segment for Seinfeld. So you can kind of understand why the Seinfeld crew was pushing for Giuliani to win.
Tim Kaiser said they essentially became Republican for that week, wanting, rooting for Giuliani to win.
Exactly. Another reason why I'm glad Giuliani won, because they actually got to film with him.
Yeah, and they had it all planned out. If Dinkins had won, they were going to have a representative of Dinkins make the same speech that Giuliani makes at the end of the episode.
Exactly.
But fortunately, because Giuliani won, he actually appeared. He won the election. What is it? Tuesday night?
Yeah, he won on Tuesday, November 2nd. The episode is going to air the following Thursday.
So he won Tuesday night. The following morning, he agreed, and they shot with Seinfeld's crew that speech that we know to end the episode. Mm-hmm. So he was really a good sport about the whole thing, and I'm sure he was just elated to have won. And he's also noted as being a big Seinfeld fan, so he was game to do this.
Right. So eventually it all worked out, which is pretty insane. Having these two episodes, 99% complete, basically leading up to the election. You get your winner. Great. Let's film with Giuliani and insert the footage. You got your completed episode. However, we should bring up the point, as you kind of hinted at, what if Dinkins had won? What were they going to do? Dinkins didn't want to film. Well, as a backup, they did bring in actors to play spokespersons for Giuliani and Dinkins. I assume they brought in someone to play Giuliani's spokesperson in case Giuliani won and he couldn't do it.
I would imagine so, yes.
Just as a backup. And none other than David Blackwood played Giuliani's spokesperson. David Blackwood has cameoed in, I think, like 6 episodes so far. We're going to see him again in the Crowell with Carol Kane.
Yeah, we need to do something about that name.
Yes. Oh, there you go. Another episode. He was going to play Giuliani's spokesperson, but since they got to film with Giuliani, hey, David, we don't need to use your footage. However, if Dinkins had won, they hired an actor to play Dinkins' spokesperson. And if you want to talk about, I don't even know if this is like a saying, the biggest bullet they dodged on Seinfeld, it was this. What happened?
So actor Phil Morris comes in. He plays Dinkins' representative, and he reads the statement for the Dinkins campaign winning. And then their first thing when they get into office is going to be looking into this non-fat yogurt issue. And if Phil Morris does not ring a bell, I'm sure the name Jackie Chiles rings a bell, because that is the actor who went on to play Jackie Chiles in the later seasons of Seinfeld, the famed attorney. Who told you to put the bomb on? That guy. He did a great job, great read as this representative of Dinkins. But fortunately, because Giuliani won the election, they didn't need to use Phil Morris's scene. His scene was cut. And sure enough, a couple years later, he's back in the Seinfeld offices reading for Jackie Chiles, won the part. And that's how we know him. He made it all the way to the series finale.
Yeah. Let's play a clip of Phil Morris real quick from this unused scene from the alternate episode.
Now take to the City Hall where Philip Trout, an aide to Mayor Dinkins, has a statement.
Well, it's hard to understand because the mayor's been doing everything he normally does. He's been watching his diet very carefully. He exercises regularly. His only indulgence that I can see is that he eats a lot of frozen yogurt, but it's non-fat. We've just received some very disturbing information regarding the fat content in the frozen yogurt being sold throughout the city. Mayor Dinkins will be dispatching a special task force immediately to investigate this matter. He will also be instituting a review board to monitor the situation from here on in. Now, the mayor pledges to you, his fellow New Yorkers, that this administration will do everything possible to cleanse the city of this falsified non-fat yogurt.
I don't know about you. I don't even hear Jackie Childs in there. And
no, he's talking so straight without any cadence of any kind.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know if I would have recognized Phil Morris. Oh, that's Jackie Childs. Because
right. No mustache, no glasses.
That grin. Yeah, none of that. It's just, straight dude in a suit. There's nothing eccentric about him whatsoever. But my God, could you imagine if Dinkins won and they used this? What would they have done for Jackie Childs? Would they even have done the Jackie Childs character? Would he ever be what he came to be?
But we would have missed out on a wonderful character to be added to the universe. Mm-hmm. Jerry even says how lucky they were. Mm-hmm. He said the show could not shouldn't have been called Seinfeld. It would have been better off being called Dumb Luck because many, just like getting Jerry Stiller, but many of the times where the show they felt like they were truly blessed to have these people and all these events surround them, just like the car not starting in the parking garage. This was another one of those truly dumb luck moments where somebody was with them and Giuliani won. They got to use Phil Morris as Jackie Childs later on.
Yeah, well, I think that just about does it for that epic amount of trivia. Hopefully we made sense a little bit with all that.
Yeah.
With all that rambling. But let's move on to this week's episode, the non-fat yogurt.
I had glasses when I was 10 years old. Anybody beat that? Anybody got them younger than that? 7? 2? Anybody born with glasses? Come out of the birth canal and go, that was a hell of a delivery, I'll tell you that. Can I clean these? Does anybody have one of those little claws? I was just born. They're a little smudgy.
Out of all the stand-ups we've seen thus far, this one seems to have the most improvised feel, and that's because it actually is improvised. When Jerry asks this question to the audience, did anyone get him younger than that? Someone yells out, 2? Jerry's kind of caught off guard, and that is his genuine reaction. And what comes out later is actual improv, which is rare for Jerry's style of stand-up. Usually his bits are all very scripted with, beats here, delivery here. But he, did anyone just come out wearing glasses?
Yeah.
Were they just born? Boy, that was a hell of delivery. And I love that moment. It feels so organic and so authentic. I almost feel that's what comedy has kind of turned in today, with people just kind of riffing and feeding off the audience, going off that and being naturally funny versus tailoring this and honing this finely crafted act. But I love this stand-up for that reason, that it's improvised.
Couldn't agree more. But it's a nice change of pace, I think, with these stand-ups here. It just, I don't know, I wish they did this more often, or at least I wish it happened more often.
But what I love is Jerry's expression. He's almost elated in that one of the audience members gave him this this morsel to go on. Mm-hmm. And it makes for a great moment.
Yeah, I wonder what the stand-up was going to be. I mean, he does say that he had glasses when he was 10.
True.
So he's probably going to talk about his youth, maybe, or his childhood growing up with glasses. I love that line. That was a hell of a delivery.
Yeah. Does anyone have one of those claws? It's a little smudgy.
Yeah, can I clean these? All right, first scene of the episode. We are at a yogurt shop here. Jerry, Elaine, and George are pigging out on some frozen yogurt. And you just get some of that lovely Larry David dialogue, right out the gate.
How good?
Oh, it's good.
I know it.
How good? Very good. Yeah, just all over the place. Well, Lane's got blueberry. They put real blueberries in it. What did Jerry get?
Coffee. And they grind up the coffee beans and put it in.
Rico.
Suave. Also, Elaine asking to George, you want to taste mine? And then George saying immediately, oh, you want to taste mine, is quintessential Larry David. He does it in Curb. But let's not beat around the bush. If you want some of mine, just ask me. I'm happy to give it to you. Well, and then she's like, forget about it.
The mood is like ballooning up. It's so happy. There's so much enthusiasm. And George just has to ruin it with that comment.
Yeah. Who's gonna burst that bubble?
Yes. I can't remember where else this has cropped up, but Kramer has apparently invested in the non-fat yogurt place. He's going to clean up. Business is booming. The whole place is packed. Did this come up on Seinfeld already, or maybe we see it in a later episode?
Well, I know with Poppy's, Poppy wanted to invest in Kramer's pizza oven idea.
Mm-hmm.
You make your own pie, but I'm sure Kramer's invested in something.
It's such a weird concept, I feel like. I don't have any friends that have invested in a local business. You know what I mean? It's just so odd. And here we go. I'm going to be playing a lot of clips this week. But,
Clip it up, my friend.
This is so f***ing good.
Jerry?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I love how they use a curse word and they bleep it out on national television. And it almost seems unprecedented for a show like this it's going to be ripe, like you said, with bleeps.
Yeah, it's kind of shocking, though, when you think of prime time, 9:00 Thursday night. It's crazy that they can get away with this, or at least give this kind of joke a shot.
The fact that it's bleeped keeps me within the Seinfeld realm. If they were to keep the bleeps off, then it would be a Curb episode, I think.
We get a little hint of swearing, or at least something that shouldn't be said in the Keys episode. When Kramer goes to L.A., there's this running joke with George and Elaine where they say something nasty about Jerry, but they say it under their breath.
Oh, yeah.
That's because you're so full of... And then later on, you'll get that Elaine moment where she slams the door. I don't give a slam. So they do play with bad language in other episodes, but this is the first time they just go out and say it. Apparently, they were allowed to swear, but they had to film alternate takes where they weren't saying swear words.
And the best example is when we're going to see Matthew later on, the little boy. The line is, "Oh, I want to be just like Jerry. He's a funny f***." But what Matthew actually says, if you read his mouth, lip reading, he says fink, F-I-N-K.
Right. Now, I wonder if he always had to say a normal word. They didn't want him to swear, but
perhaps because he's a kid.
But that is a good example, though, of an alternate word, for sure. As the group gets ready to leave, though, George is not happy at all to spot a certain someone from his old neighborhood, actually. Guy by the name of Lloyd Braun. He's a big advisor to Mayor Dinkins, and George seems to have some weird jealousy thing going on with this guy because Lloyd thinks he's so cool, and we'll find out later his parents just love Lloyd Braun.
Why? Well, that's the question his mother always asks him. Why can't you be more like Lloyd Braun? That's plagued him his whole life.
Hey, George.
Hey, Lloyd! Hey! My friend Jerry.
So, I hear you're living back home now or something?
Yeah, there was a fire in my apartment.
Fire? There's a lot of major chicks in this place, huh? Something wrong with your arm?
Yeah. Actually, I bumped my elbow on a desk and injured something, and now it sort of moves involuntarily.
Wow, that's a bitch, huh? So, how are your parents doing?
Oh, pretty good.
This place does some business, huh?
Yeah, this is my first time here.
Hey, she's a doll.
Hi.
Elaine, this is Lloyd.
Hi.
Oh, hi. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Oh, I'm really sorry I gotta run now. Well, take it easy, George?
Yeah.
Bye.
Boy, he is really cute.
He's a jerk.
He's gone, George.
All right.
So actor Peter Callaghan, I'm probably mispronouncing that, I apologize, but he plays the original Lloyd Braun. He is a Canadian actor, and I assume most of his credits are Canadian TV shows because I don't recognize most of them. But he was in a show, this one I did check, it's called The Newsroom.
HBO?
No, the 90s show, but that was his big break, Canadian show. He was also in Ginger Snaps, The Industry. He was in Death to Smoochie, we know that one.
Oh, there you go.
The Red Green Show. He did voice work in a film called Ruby Gloom, 18 to Life, Meet the Family, and Murdoch Mysteries.
Quite interesting. He's an actor I don't recognize really from any other show or movie. Yeah. And it's sort of unfortunate for him because they bring back the Lloyd Braun character 2 more times, as we mentioned earlier. He will be replaced, though, with Matt McCoy.
Right. And that, I think, is the Lloyd Braun most Seinfeld fans recognize.
Absolutely.
As the, true Lloyd Braun.
Yeah, this is sort of a Morty Seinfeld situation.
Yeah.
Where you have the original actor, and I don't know, I forgot what happened with that original actor who played Morty, but they're just not available. I think this guy, Peter, apparently moved back to Canada. But, I think he does a really good job in this episode. I think he's really just smug without being unlikable. I think he's kind of charming.
I don't like him at all, actually.
Oh, really?
And I have good reason. I was going to get into this later, but I'm going to argue that Lloyd really is a jerk. At least this particular version of Lloyd. Major chicks, he calls George out. That's a bitch, and she's a doll. Like, he just seems like a jerk, and I don't like him. And I think the main reason I don't like him is because George already gets shit on most of his life. From his parents, at work, from all the women in New York City.
Shit on, man. Shit on. You know what really pisses him off?
Where you going? Where you going? Come on back. But, this guy's just adding insult to injury and, kicking a guy when he's down. Mm-hmm. So that's why I do not like this character, this particular version of Lloyd Braun. I like the one that's been in a mental institution and he's got his own problems to worry about.
Heard they found a family in your freezer.
How do you think they got there?
This guy, he's not supposed to be a likable character. I don't hate him, I guess, as much as George does. I don't know, there's something about George. He's despicable enough that I'm never going to have his back and be like, man, poor George in this episode. That guy is a jerk. I kind of like seeing George get taken down a little bit.
Oh, I don't know. I disagree.
Nope.
But I like Lloyd does call George out, though. He sees right through the I said he got caught red-elbowed because he knows George is faking it.
Oh, yeah, you'll definitely see this in the upcoming Costanza scene. Lloyd, I think, sees right through George's bullshit. I mean...
Again, why I think he's a jerk.
Oh, he's George's Lex Luthor. He knows him, they grew up together. He probably knows all of George's tricks.
That's true.
Next scene, we're in Jerry's apartment, and Jerry's telling Kramer, hey, how great business is at the yogurt shop. Kramer, of course, knew to invest because he tasted one at another yogurt place downtown. It's, got remarkable texture. You never know it was non-fat. That's really the selling point. They're hammering that home every scene.
And remember what I said last week, how interesting the blocking was, having George sit on the speaker? Look where Kramer's got his caboose parked right now.
Oh, is he on the speaker?
He's on the speaker again.
Oh, man. Well, Jerry buzzes up Elaine, and... Did you notice this is the first time they've ever done the right? That kind of becomes this running joke.
Yeah.
Instead of come on up. Just,
right. I like that.
Well, Jerry had a great show the other night. He ad-libbed 10 minutes. But did he tape it?
He's channeling his inner Kramer there.
Yes.
Again, very comfortable playing this fictitious version of himself. He seems like he's really embraced this character of Jerry.
Well, he said he ad-libbed 10 minutes at stand-up. Do you think that's referencing the opening stand-up?
I never thought of that, but I think that's a really great get, yeah.
Well, because, they filmed a lot of the stand-up segments together for several episodes. They'd film for probably 30 minutes and then dice them up for different episodes. So it is very possible that stand-up was filmed before they filmed this episode. You know what I mean? So they could write that ad-lib line into the script.
But I do like that there's a little connection there, too.
But technically, though, he did do a thing on the Ottoman Empire, which we didn't get to see in the opening stand-up.
See, that would have been... Maybe that was what they were going to do in the opening stand-up. Instead of the glasses. Mm-hmm. I don't know how he would have got from glasses to sitting down, putting your feet up. But I really like that joke. The Ottoman Empire, what is this? A whole empire based on putting your feet up?
See, I never found that funny. Everyone loves that. Even Kramer's like, yeah.
It's great.
Oh, man, is it?
I think it's a cute joke.
A
smart crowd will get it.
All right. Well, I figured regardless, you kind of got a kick out of seeing that little, peek behind the curtain, seeing a character or a comedian prepare where they find their material.
Absolutely.
You're always a fan of that. Well, Elaine arrives. She bit down on a fork.
Boy, it's hard to believe with all her biting experience, a person can make a mistake like that.
That is such a good point.
It cracks me up. I do that, though. It hurts when you bite down on the fork.
And this is when Kramer notices something about Elaine's shape.
You're getting heavy. Yeah, you look like you put on 10 pounds. Kramer?
I'll tell you something else. You're looking a little chunky yourself, buddy.
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Where's your bathroom scale? Oh my God, I've gained 7 pounds!
I've gained 8!
I told you.
I thought I put on a couple, but 7 pounds? How did I gain 7 pounds?
How did I gain 8?
I don't get it. I've been doing the same exercises. I haven't been eating anything different.
Me either. Wait a second. Maybe it's that yogurt.
No. That's 100% non-fat.
Well, how else could this have happened?
Well, maybe it's the Oreos.
So I don't eat Oreos.
You don't eat Oreos? The way you break them open, you're practically having sex with them.
What about me?
You're getting old.
Maybe your yogurt isn't so non-fat.
Oh, guess again, Tubby.
Jerry, there's got to be a way we can find that out.
There must be some kind of lab that would do that kind of thing.
I got it. I'll call the Food and Drug Administration.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Chubbs. If that yogurt has fat in it, I will put myself on an all-yogurt diet for a week.
Well, let's start the insanity.
Giddy up.
Now, of all the things to take away from this episode, what I love so much, all the little jabs Kramer throws at Jerry.
The entire episode, he's got some fat comment or remark.
Yes. Now, this is something I know. You might not remember it, but I know I used to throw these insults out in college. Kramer was definitely my favorite one to quote, just in our little get-togethers, and calling you Tubbs, Fatso, anything I could. And it was so funny, too, because you were not fat at all. As you're eating a cookie right now.
You still do that, though.
What, make funny of your weight?
Yeah, listen, Tubbs. Yeah. It's fun. I love it. It's a great little joke. Because, I mean, Jerry is putting on weight. He put on 8 pounds.
That's true. He's got a little spare tire there, Tiger.
And, very good. But, again, another quality of Kramer being completely unfiltered, completely honest with both a man and a woman. Mm-hmm. He has no qualms about telling Elaine she's put on weight. You're getting heavy.
Kramer.
But yeah, you just like to call me fat all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, we're good friends.
Yes.
Oh, and also I really like it's a visual joke, but when Elaine asks Jerry, "Where's your bathroom scale?"
Yeah.
Jerry gives her this eye roll as if to say, "In
You're
the
bathroom."
Good moment, and the crowd seems to eat that up.
That's some good trivia too. Elaine gained 7 pounds. Jerry gained 8.
Yes.
For all of those of you keeping score at home. Interesting to note, too, that Kramer suggests they bet. And, we know Kramer has a gambling problem. There's no money necessarily, but he will be having to, pay and consume yogurt if he loses. The bet being, if there's fat in the yogurt, he'll eat it for a week.
But what did they establish Jerry would do if the yogurt didn't have fat in it?
Oh, that's a good point. There is this isn't like a levels thing, right?
Big dinner with dessert.
That's a good point. What is Jerry going to lose if he's wrong here?
With the whole being able to use Lloyd Braun's name in this episode being based over a golf bet, as well as Kramer having this betting problem, it seems like betting is a thing among either the writers or something common in Larry David's life, that he likes to bet with his friends, or at least have a
friendly wager.
I'll have a masturbation contest with you any day of the week. You want to check my cholesterol? And even in Curb, he does that. So I think it's this like joking yet still a little bit of a competitive thing to have with his buddies.
Absolutely. We should start doing that more often.
Okay.
Masturbation contest starting now. Next scene, we're at the Costanzas. Estelle is dusting. George is falling asleep on the couch while Frank is reading. I think he's reading from a TV guide. I couldn't get a clear shot of it. But that
would have been nice.
Yeah, little Tommy Toon isn't on the cover, but he is reading that Tommy Toon is a very good dancer.
You ever seen Tommy Toon dance?
Yeah, double whammy there. What a laugh, man, that gets.
It's so nice to be back in the Costanza household and have Frank and Estelle.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't seen George at home for a couple episodes. He's been out of the house.
Yeah, that's true. I think George at home with his parents, I think they give this more attention than they ever gave the pilot arc. I feel like that arc went by 5, 6, maybe even 10 episodes without addressing it.
But Jason, during the commentary, said he used to have to beg Jerry Stiller, who is the sweetest, gentlest man in the world. He used to have to beg him to hit him to do that gag of hitting him in the head.
Right.
And how wonderful a gag it is.
However, Estelle, on the other hand,
she actually volunteered, said, "Oh, can I hit him too?" And Larry David made a point of saying, "Well, we only really like to have one person hit George in an episode."
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah. But for this particular episode, they both got to hit him.
Yeah. The topic of tap dancing comes up, and it just hit me right now. That makes me think of Raquel
There's
Welch.
lots of this in tap dancing.
Yes. Yeah. Louis Maxstone Graham from Scarsdale Surprise.
Lou!
Yes. Frank and Estelle go back and forth on tap dancing. Frank thinks it's, just in the shoes. You don't really have to do a lot.
Are you kidding? They practice those for years, those people.
Well, the doorbell rings, and Estelle goes to get it. And hey, what do you know? It's Lloyd Braun. Love George's reaction when he hears who it is. He has like
in his chair,
or he's on the couch, and it's like he has this jerking sort of spasm, and just sort of slides down the couch in defeat, like a child, pretty much. You could see 10-year-old George doing the same thing.
I almost saw of it as him wanting to hide and not be seen by Lloyd.
That too.
I know you can't do that.
Frank and Estelle are, of course, thrilled to see Lloyd. They start fawning all over him, and when they hear about Lloyd running into George the other day in the city, that's when we didn't really cover this, the scene prior, but George elbows his mother, pretty hard.
Ow!
It's really good.
I think Estelle and Elmo, it's the same voice.
Yes.
So if you can do an Elmo, say what you will about George, but he pays attention to detail, and when he commits to a lie, he's going to go full out. And he knows now he's lied to Lloyd about this elbow jerk reaction. So now he's got to do it and keep it up.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking George was doing that involuntarily, but I didn't think he was doing it to keep up the lie. I thought it was just like he forgot that Jerry wasn't there. I'm an
Jerry.
idiot. I'm
Lord.
so...
Can we get a new host in here? Here now is the first scene where they had to film two separate versions,
right?
A Dinkins and a Giuliani one.
Yeah, we played the clip earlier when he works for Giuliani, but this is the one where he works for Dinkins, and it's look how great he is. In this situation, though, because of the spasm, Lloyd says, "Hey, I talked to Dinkins if he knows any good orthopedists, and he got George an appointment with Dr. Decter."
That I think would be one of the most difficult trivia questions to ask of a trivia audience.
What was the name of the orthopedist?
Who did Lloyd Braun schedule an appointment with for George to see his elbow? Because it's just a reference doctor name. You don't even see him, and it's just the one line. It sounds like Dexter. So a lot of things would have to align to, but I'm sure somebody would get it.
Right. Well, this, the Costanzas just are, they don't care about George so much. They're just like, "Oh my God, you mentioned George's name to Mayor Dinkins. Dinkins was talking about you. He was discussing you."
And George puts his hands on his face as if, I'm so lucky.
Yes. Jason just kills it in these scenes. I feel like they go so unnoticed because there's something about Jason's acting that is so natural. And we'll get into this with the scene with Dr. Decter, where he makes it look so easy. I don't give it the praise that it really deserves. Or I feel like most people don't give it the praise. We are talking about the one cast member who never won an Emmy for the role.
And rightfully should have.
Yeah.
I would agree with you, but I think because we're seeing Jerry Stiller and Estelle Harris steal the show. And I wanted to point out, the Jerry Stiller acting method of it's got some kind of a spasm.
Yeah.
We're focusing on that, and Jason and all of his subtle little moves he's doing, just like the one we just mentioned. He's killing it.
Right. Well, I guess some kind of like a business card was, exchanged here, and George tries to give it back to Lloyd, being like, "Oh, I can't go.
I've been to the doctor, Lloyd."
Yes.
There's really nothing they can do.
However, it gets back to George, through his parents. Hey, you should do this for like Mayor Dinkins, pretty much.
He set this up for you. Don't screw it up.
And Lloyd, man, when he delivers that line, I'm very interested to hear the diagnosis. That's the moment where George and Lloyd, I think, are on the same field. Frank and Estelle have no idea what they're saying, but Lloyd and George, I feel like, are going at it a little bit there.
I see through your line of bullshit, and this is the final. I'm going to get you, called out here. And again, that's why I hate this character.
I'll see your bullshit and I'll raise you. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Well, next scene, we're at Jerry's apartment. Elaine got an appointment with a lab in Brooklyn to analyze the fat content in some of the frozen yogurt. They have to swing by the shop first and get a specimen. But before they leave, there's a little knock at the door.
Well, I hope you're satisfied.
What?
Every word out of my son's mouth now is You know what he said to me 5 minutes ago? Where's my cupcake?
Gee, I'm really sorry.
He wants to be like you because you're a comedian. Maybe you could talk to him?
I'd be happy to.
Thank you.
Mary, we've been eating a lot of your husband's yogurt at the yogurt place. Does that have any fat in it?
No way.
So here we go. Here's the second character to swear in the episode, and one of the more iconic swearing scenes in the non-fat yogurt. But Mary Edith is played by actress Mary Edith Burrell. She previously played the mother in The Parking Space, mother of Matthew. So she's playing the same character, although this is the first time she's referenced by name. She was a regular on Fridays, the show that Larry David, Michael Richards, and all these various Seinfeld stars appeared on. She was on 54 episodes of Fridays, yeah. She was on a TV show called Throb. She was on a TV show from the 90s called Parenthood, the Jackie Thomas Show, and she was in the Christopher Lloyd movie Camp Nowhere.
You know, I actually saw that for the first time this summer.
Oh, what'd you think?
It was great. There's certain movies, though, if you just don't watch them, when you're a kid, they just don't, I think, land.
Of course.
But yeah, I did not recognize her. I should revisit that. She's great. There's something about here that just feels so just New York about her. I just love this character so much, especially this scene, especially when she just, hurls the just 1, 2, 3.
And a perfect way to end the scene with the no fucking way.
Oh, yeah. Come on. It's almost like a little slice of Curb. And Susie...
Hey, now you're talking.
You know what I'm talking about? Like just that kind
of
hard-edged, New York woman. I love that.
As Leon would say, you got some mouth on you. Shut the fuck up, Leon.
So next scene, we're back at the Costanzas. We really just cut right in the middle of the scene. We're getting the second half now. Lloyd is saying goodbye to the Costanzas. George doesn't give a shit. As he leaves, Lloyd asks George about, hey, that woman in the yogurt shop. You know what I mean? What's her story? And such great writing here as George keeps it vague. Oh, just a friend of mine.
Right. He is not going to give anything to Lloyd. He wants to, at all costs, try and keep these two apart.
Why? Is George protecting Elaine? Or is it just like, Lloyd, you're not going to get in on my life here?
Well, I think it's many reasons. I don't think he likes Lloyd. He doesn't want to do any favors for him, let alone set him up with a pretty girl.
Right.
Or give him any advantage. Mm-hmm. But leave it to Mother Estelle to spill the beans.
How does she say it?
Her name's Elaine Bennis. She works for Pendant Publishing.
Yes. Yeah, that's Lloyd. It's like you get the name, then, what's her number? Lloyd, I don't have it. Mm-hmm. And Lloyd, just that final blow, so to speak, gives him that little tap on the chin.
Yep.
Before he leaves.
Yeah, and the blocking, Lloyd is above George. George is sitting,
Mm-hmm.
He's the superior being. And again, let's also point out that the main reason I think Lloyd goes over there is not to bust George's balls about the arm thing. He wants Elaine's number. So that was his motive, and he used, I bumped into George at the city. I just want to stop by and say hi. Yeah. He wants that number. So again, slimeball this guy is.
I never realized that. That's the only reason he came over. You're totally right.
Jerk.
Damn. Yeah, he is evil, but he's so charming.
No, he's not.
All right. Well, the Costanzas, of course, after Lloyd leaves, that Lloyd Braun, he is something. It's terrible. Sorry.
No, that's good.
And it's so great here. There's a deleted scene, which is just the best. I don't know if you saw it on the DVD.
Oh, I did, where the Costanzas sit down with George.
So I'll try to get a screen grab because what Jerry Stiller does is just brilliant. So to set the scene, Estelle is on George's left, Frank is on George's right. But what Jerry Stiller chooses to do, he puts his arm around George and he crosses his leg. It's practically on George.
Yeah. It's really weird.
Yeah, it's a forgettable scene. They just go on and on about Lloyd Braun, but the choices Jerry Stiller makes in the scene are pretty awesome.
And now we get to one of the best Newman appearances I think we'll ever see in a Seinfeld episode.
I didn't know what to do because I'm like, okay, we're playing a clip almost every scene this week. It's too much.
You got to. It's too much. No, you got to do it.
Well, to set the scene, yogurt shop, Newman and some of his postal buddies are sitting at a big table chowing down on some yogurt.
Well, I wouldn't hear of it. I said, nice try, Granny, and I sent it to the back of the line.
Hello, Newman.
Hello, Jerry. Hey, this yogurt is really something, huh? And it's non-fat. I've been waiting for something like this my whole life, and it's finally here.
There's another Newman clip coming up I'm saving for the end of the scene. But,
good.
dude, once again, Wayne Knight has 2 scenes this episode, and he just kills it. Kills it.
He really is jolly in this episode in particular.
Yeah. I don't know how to describe it, but the scenes like this is the 5th Seinfeld character.
Oh, yeah, hands down.
It's just so funny, and
it's like a little gang of postal workers.
Yeah.
You know, they're out on the prowl, they're stopping to get a snack, and then they're going to be back out, delivering mail.
And there's so much going on with Jerry because the mood is ruined when Jerry shows up, but then Newman gets happy because of the non-fat yogurt.
We get a hello Newman. It's outside in the wild. It's not at Jerry's apartment. Yeah. But then Newman, hello Jerry, say this yogurt's really something, huh? You can't. I've been waiting for something like this my whole life, and it's finally here.
Well, the guy behind the counter gives Jerry a hard time about using obscenities around his son, and this always takes me off guard. I forget Matthew has a father. I always assume that Matthew is being raised by a single mother, since we don't really. I don't think it's really well established that this is Matthew's father's store. Really,
at the end of the episode, the closing line definitely lets you know that this is Matthew's father, which we'll get to. But you're right; it always seemed like Mary Edith was the only one raising Matthew. But yes, Matthew does have a dad.
Right. And there is more than one yogurt store here. So I guess you're led to assume either he runs this one or he runs all of them.
Late nights slinging yogurt for this guy.
Oh, I don't know if that's the right term to use.
Oh, stop it. Grow up. The yogurt store owner's name is Joel. He's played by actor Jed Mills. He was in Casino. He played Jack Hardy. My Favorite Year, New Year's Evil. He was in a Twin Peaks episode, a Quantum Leap episode. And this, I was so happy to learn, and I'm going to insist that you and I watch this together. He's in this movie called A Man Called Rainbow. And this is the tagline. It's a redubbed comedy version of the early, very dated Sylvester Stallone film, No Place to Hide from 1970.
Oh my God.
So he does voice work in here. So we have to watch this.
Okay.
And the cover is great. It's a surprise Stallone look from the 70s. He's got long hair. And the title is in rainbow font, and it says A Man Called Rainbow. So I'm going to insist we watch that next time we get together.
That might show up on How Did This Get Made? That sounds like a movie they would definitely cover.
Oh, but here's one thing I think they could have made a mistake on or missed opportunity. When Elaine says, I want a small plain vanilla in a cup to go. That's non-fat, right? And the owner goes, that's right. I almost feel like they could have had the father also swear and say, no f***ing way, or some sort of bleep in there to kind of like lay a bait that Matthew's parents are also notorious swearers as well.
That's a good,
and maybe that's where Matthew gets his swearing from, not from Jerry, who just had a slip once, because we obviously saw the mother likes to fly off the handle, but it would have been cool to see the father swear as well.
Yeah, I feel like we definitely get that that idea when Matthew's mother visits, but it would be that little extra something, to hear Matthew's father swear as well. You're about to say it.
I wanted to say it, but I know you're going to do the clip. So
I have to play the clip because Wayne Knight, man, I don't know how he does this, but this is we're both in agreement here. This is one of the best Newman lines of all time.
Yep. And so fun to quote.
Hey, another round of strawberry for me and my friends.
It's such a weird way to end the scene. What is going on in this person's life?
How happy is he in this moment to be with his buddies? Another round for me and my friends, And
it's like an evil laugh. Like what's to laugh about?
He could be a Bond villain right here.
Oh boy, one of the best. We're in Jerry's car. Jerry's driving to Brooklyn with Kramer in the back. Elaine's in the passenger seat with a melting frozen yogurt. Kramer argues, hey, you can't test it now. This is Kramer's, crazy opinion. The melting changes the molecules, but whatever. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Hey, Fatso, I got a 90 in biology.
You call me Fatso one more time, you're going to be walking home.
I love how Kramer's grade in a high school biology class, allows him to make this decision here.
But we'll find out actually next week in the barber. Spoilers. He's a high school graduate.
Equivalency.
Equivalency. And speaking of the barber, we don't usually do this when we're talking about a different episode, but did you notice that Jerry's hair is really short this episode? It's not the mullet.
You're right. Because we commented last week. He did have a big poof in the back.
And I should have done this at the top of the episode, but if you got it this far, you're probably interested to hear this. Next week in the barber, he will have the mullet again, and he'll get the haircut.
So can we put this blunder in our, I guess we screwed up bit at the top of the show now?
We need a screw up jingle here for the middle. But yeah, so he has short hair here because he gets a haircut in the next episode.
Oh.
So there you go.
Aha.
Next scene, we are at the lab here. I actually wanted to look at the name. I love that little detail because this looks like a real location in New York. And it's called Bendener and Schlesinger, I think.
Oppenheim and Taft?
Yeah. It takes place, this location is supposed to be in Brooklyn, but the actual filming location for this building here was on the corner of 3rd Ave and East 10th Street in New York, in Manhattan. I looked at it on Google Maps, and it's actually a TD Bank now. But I think they still have an original location in Brooklyn on 58th Street. So there you go. The group arrives to get the yogurt tested. Turns out it doesn't matter that it's melted, of course. It will take a couple of days, though, to figure out the fat content. And Kramer here starts flirting with a chemist, I think. And
hello there.
Yeah, this other exposition technician tells Jerry, "Hey, I've got this test tube of Giuliani's blood. We're doing a cholesterol workup on it."
I know HIPAA wasn't. Did the HIPAA law get introduced yet? He's just volunteering health information to strangers regarding the potential mayor of New York City.
This whole setup is very sitcom-y. The fact that these characters would walk into a lab, fill out a form, be 2 feet away from someone's blood where they're doing a cholesterol test. It just doesn't, make sense.
Again, TV show, we got to stop thinking we're set in reality here.
We'll let it slide this time.
Mm-hmm. That lab technician is played by Daryl Kunatami. He was in Mad About You. Oh, get this. In Married with Children, he played the Japanese Al Bundy.
Oh,
so
interesting.
I don't know how that would fly in today's PC climate, but there you have it. He was in Lois and Clark, New Adventures of Superman, Murder One, and he did voice work on Rugrats in Paris.
Oh, very cool.
And then we get to this chemist, test tubes.
Oh, real quick, before you get to her rap sheet, this actress always reminds me of Joan Cusack.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
A little bit in there, but...
A cross between Joan Cusack and Krista Miller, who played Mr. Grandmont.
Oh, okay.
I get a little bit of that, too. But you're more Joan Cusack.
What do you got, though?
I got Lisa Hewell. She plays Cheryl, the chemist. She was in a movie called Emily of New Moon, Cold Squad, Pontypool, and Flashpoint, the TV show.
Those are some of the most interesting titles you've ever read before.
And in that Emily of New Moon, she played multiple characters. So
look at that.
Interesting. But the biggest piece of trivia to come out of this character is that Lisa Kudrow auditioned for this role of Cheryl, the chemist.
Wow.
Unfortunately, she did not get it, but I think she did okay because she went on to star as one of the famous six on Friends.
For sure. That's really bizarre, actually. I had no idea that she ever had anything to do with Seinfeld, because we'll see Courtney Cox later this season. So I guess Friends would be next year, 94, the fall of 94.
And Lisa Kudrow also had little bit parts on Mad About You, playing Ursula, who is Phoebe's twin sister.
That's right.
In Mad About You as the waitress. So a little bit of crossing over there.
Mm-hmm. We're now in Jerry's car, and it turns out that Kramer is going to take out the chemist. And Jerry raises the point, hey, you can't do that. She's like the jury. She's got to be sequestered. But he claims, hey, I'm not taking her out just to influence the results.
Well, I think the whole thing stinks.
It smells bad. It smells really bad.
That's enough.
What?
With the smells. That's very cute. I like that exchange between the two of them.
And one of these Larry David jokes, totally unnecessary. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I mean, necessary because it's funny, but it doesn't further the plot. It's not a cheap joke. It's just comes out of nowhere, and it's beautiful. Next scene, Jerry's apartment. Love that visual of Jerry weighing his bowl of Cheerios.
Yeah, he's got the scale out, and everything's got to be just right.
Meanwhile, George is eating some pizza.
I mean, George is double fisting pizza. He's got one hand that he's eating out of, then he's got another one slice ready to go.
Yeah, it's on deck.
Never seen that before.
George is complaining about Lloyd making an appointment for him with Dinkin's doctor, and how he's just trying to humiliate him.
Humiliate.
I can't say it. Humiliate.
Humiliate.
Here, I'll do it again. George is complaining about Lloyd making an appointment for him with Dinkin's doctor, and how he's just trying to him. Did that sound weird?
A little.
Go ahead.
I think the word you're looking for is humiliate.
You know, even if George looks like a mental patient, though, with his arm spasms, George is going to the doctor. If he doesn't, Lloyd will know he's lying.
Yeah, but Lloyd doesn't know who he's up against. That's nothing to George.
Yeah.
He could move in his arm. He could do that his whole life.
Yeah, his whole life is a lie, which is great. You know, I wondered why George goes on this quest, this determination to not let the lie crumble.
I think depending on the situation, if somebody gets his goat in a certain way, he just will not let it go. Mm-hmm. And this is an example. Another example is when Al Necchi says he would hurt Daphne.
Oh yeah, there you go.
And George is like, "Hey, I'll get married if I have to." Yeah, and he'll go to whatever depths to. Al Necchi will think twice before he opens his mouth about me. Meanwhile, he doesn't want to marry Susan. Anyway, that's getting out of scope here. But here's another situation with Lloyd Braun. He doesn't want Lloyd Braun to win here.
Yeah, there's a lot of pride there for sure. Well, Elaine enters. She's got her workout gear, Evian bottle. You know, everyone's trying to lose weight. Turns out Lloyd called her, right?
They're going out tomorrow night.
Look, he's going to ask you about my arm. So just tell him I banged it against the desk, and it's been moving involuntarily ever since.
I can't say that.
Why not?
What if I like him? I'm gonna start out lying to this guy?
So you're taking his side?
No, but what if we get married or something? We'll always have that between us.
Already you're marrying this guy?
You never know.
Believe me, you're not gonna marry him.
All right, well then what if we become a couple, George? Every time we see you, you're gonna be walking around going like this? Even you can't keep that up.
No, I believe he can.
Hi.
Hi.
You know Jerry?
Of course. He's a funny
See?
Listen, Matthew, I want to explain something to you. Now, cursing is not something that most comedians do.
You did it.
That's true, but it was an accident, and I haven't done it since, and I would never do it again. And if you continue cursing, you'll never become a comedian like me when you grow up. Excuse me 1 second.
You know, Lloyd advises Dinkins on everything he does.
Yeah, big advisor.
He tells him what soap to use.
What the you doing, you little piece of
So I love the fact that George has no confidence in Elaine and Lloyd's relationship from the start.
Yeah.
He's like, believe me, you're not marrying this guy. And George takes a compliment from Jerry. You know, Elaine says, what are you going to move you around like this the whole time? Even you can't keep that up. No, I believe you can.
Yeah.
And George, meanwhile, looks at Jerry and says, thank you.
Yes. I am full of shit. Thank you very much. Yeah, I wanted to include both the George Elaine stuff and the Jerry Matthews stuff. Very different scenes and different types of humor, but that George and Elaine back and forth is just so good.
We also see the second and final appearance of Matthew, who's played by John Christian Grass, and we previously saw him in The Parking Space as well. I remember last time we commented on this guy is almost the same age as us. He's a year older than me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, and he is retired from acting, right?
I think his last acting credit was in '99.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, we'd love to talk to him at some point. Like, just see what kind of memories he has working on Seinfeld. Because, I mean, what a memorable scene to be a part of. To have Jerry Seinfeld stare at you and scream, "What the f*** you doing, you little piece of shit?"
And if we were ever fortunate enough to interview him, I'd say, "Oh, what do you know, you little puke," and then have him say, "You just spit on me."
That's right. Yeah, Matthew is a little piece of shit though for doing that.
Yeah.
Why would he do that?
He's a kid.
That little monologue though, that little speech Jerry gives to Matthew though, haven't sworn, it was an accident. If you continue cursing, you'll never be a comedian like me when you grow up. This is one of those rare
it's a hallmark.
Yeah, there's something sweet to it. There's a little bit of drama there, I guess.
You get the reaction from George and Elaine in the kitchen saying, "Nice, you handled that situation beautifully."
A great gif, by the way, of just the two of them doing the okay symbol.
I like that.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, just a fantastic scene. There's so much range this episode. Types of humor, types of joke, a lot going on here.
Well, is there any comic today that doesn't swear besides Jerry?
Well, we always bring up Tig. We're a big fan of Tig.
Oh, that's
Notaro.
right. Yep, Tig Notaro.
Does Jim Gaffigan swear very much? I don't know his.
I can't
comedy.
recall in the specials I've heard of his.
I don't know most of his stand-up, but does Mike Birbiglia have a clean act?
You're right. He does too.
Yeah, he's someone who just comes to mind. But yeah, I mean, it's tough. I think it's a lot easier to swear as a comedian for sure.
If throwing a you double your laughs.
There you go. Yeah, that's a Julia reference, right?
When Julia says in Curb she wants to work for HBO, she'd like to be able to say f***. Larry says, you're throwing a f***, you double your laughs.
There you go. So we're back at the lab here, and it's after hours. Kramer and the chemist, they're sneaking around. They avoid the security guard and make their way into the lab. They don't turn on the lights, though. They instead light one of those, what are they called?
Bunsen burner. Ooh.
Yes. You knew what I was getting at.
He's got a little bit of yogurt in the back of his throat. So just like, not every day.
Yes.
It's hard for him to get that out.
Michael has done this twice now, and we try it from time to time. Whenever we're having a shake at a diner, we always try to do not every day. It's so hard to get it just right.
Yeah. Have a little ice cream, put it in the back of your throat, and try and say not every day or Bunsen burner.
Oh, man. And that moment where Kramer runs his hand through the flame, he's like, yow.
Yow.
Just little moments. So good. The chemist is really digging the K-Man, though. Their sexual chemistry.
Oh, yeah. I see what you did. One more time.
It's sizzling. Kramer feeds her some cappuccino yogurt. And this is such a weird scene. She seems really turned on here.
Right.
I don't know if it's for Kramer or the yogurt. But
he's got the Kavorka.
That's true.
It's also delicious cappuccino.
Non-fat?
You tell me. Is the verdict in yet?
No.
Well, this is in case there's a tie.
One of the weirdest lines on Seinfeld.
You always comment on this particular line. You don't get where it comes from or the purpose it serves.
It makes no sense.
He's just trying to be suave.
But what's being suave about that? Here's in case there's a tie. Okay, first of all,
what else are you going to say before you kiss this chemist?
So what's the tie? That there is fat or isn't fat, or it's like middle of the road fat?
If it's 50% fat, I don't know. You're right. It makes no sense.
But anyways, they start making out.
Technically, if you look at that line, though, he is trying to influence the results.
Maybe. Oh, yeah. Well, he does influence the results either way here. Or does he? We might be, for me at least, in one of these sniffing accountant situations with the ending. We'll get to it. Kramer and the chemist start making out. And in this weird kind of like mini Rube Goldberg way, he kicks the stool, hits the cabinet, and tilts some of the... I assume it's like the yogurt, right? Into a vial of Giuliani's blood?
It would make sense, yeah.
But it looks like...
But the sample of Giuliani's blood gets tainted.
With something.
I would even argue that Kramer has the Jimmy legs while he's making out with his chemist. And his legs go rampant and he kicks the stool into the counter.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Words.
There you go. What is the substance, though, that falls into Giuliani's blood? Is that supposed to be the yogurt?
I don't know.
Because
I didn't take notice, though.
It looks like blood. Like, it looks like blood falls into blood.
Okay.
But
blood!
Either way, the Giuliani blood gets tainted with something. We'll leave it at that. We get an act break, and then we're at the frozen yogurt shop. Elaine and Lloyd are on a date. And what a gal. I mean, Elaine is covering for George.
Yes. As much as this shows how bad a liar she is with her, throat clears,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
like a lot of swallows, a lot of throat clears. She has George's back, which is really, as much as she likes to give him a hard time, that's a friend.
Mm-hmm,
so
absolutely.
Good on you, Elaine.
Yeah, George has that weird involuntary movement, some sort of spasm.
Mm-hmm.
But they start talking about the Dinkins-Giuliani election and how it's really coming down to the wire. And this is when we get the Elaine, Selena Meyer, campaign idea.
You know what I would do if I was running for mayor? One of my campaign themes would be that everybody should wear name tags all the time to make the city friendlier.
Everybody would know everybody.
Maybe I'll mention that to them.
Yeah. Does that remind you of anything?
It reminds me of the Kiss Hello.
There you go.
Framer putting up pictures and labeling everybody in the building so they're more friendly. Hey, Steve!
Oh, Mary!
Give us a kiss.
Lloyd casually says, well, hey, maybe I'll mention it to Dinkins. Right there, I feel like Lloyd's kind of blowing her off because it is such a silly idea. Now, I'm like, does Lloyd think it's a great idea and that's why he mentions it to Dinkins? Is he trying to just help Elaine out?
I feel like he's trying to impress this girl that he's on a date with by saying, oh, maybe I will mention your idea to the mayor.
Absolutely. But the fact that he actually does, that totally confuses me.
But it confuses me too because as, they're about to leave, let's say Lloyd offers her yogurt. She declines. She's watching her weight. It's non-fat. But they leave.
That's what they say.
And Lloyd takes a glance at Elaine's backside.
Oh, is that it? Because he puts his arm around her. And I assume there was maybe just too much there.
Well, the actor or the character feels that maybe she's putting on a little weight, a little chunky. Mm-hmm. She's a lot of woman. But Lloyd says, maybe I will mention this to the mayor. But then we learn in the next scene, Elaine has not gotten a call from him in 3 days.
That's right. We're at Jerry's apartment here, and Jerry and Elaine they're making some health shakes, and she's really lamenting, It's been 3 days. He hasn't called.
That means Lloyd's not interested in her because she's such a fatty, but he still mentioned her idea to the mayor? Like, if you weren't going to call the girl and you didn't think it was a good idea, why would you bring it up to the mayor?
Yeah, that's a good point.
What I mean? That's
right, another question for Larry David.
Okay.
Write it down.
I'm sucking him down.
The fact that he would not want to be with Elaine or he hasn't called her back because he thinks she might be a little overweight. Yeah, he's an ass.
Absolutely. Lloyd is a jackass.
Yeah,
I told you he's no good.
I'm sorry.
I hate Lloyd Braun. In Lloyd's defense, they went to his apartment and she sat on one of his chairs and it broke.
Boy, you're a lot of woman.
Oh, there's such innocence in her face when she says it broke.
Yes.
She's so sad.
So sad.
Hey, so, hear anything on the yogurt?
No, but I expect to hear any time.
Well, I wouldn't get your hopes up.
Why do you say that?
No reason. Oh, did you hear about that Dinkins?
No, what about him?
You didn't hear? He's proposing a plan where everyone in the city should wear name tags.
Name tags?
Yeah, so people can go around saying hello to one another.
Oh, I see. So you go, hey, you know who I saw wilding today? Herb.
He's becoming a laughing stock. The Times has already stated it could cost him the election. Name tags.
Hello? Yes? Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, really? Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye. Well, the yogurt verdict is in. Fact.
So this scene always sticks out to me because there are so many great bloopers.
Oh, that's right. We haven't played bloopers, I think, all season.
Well, I think it's time.
So, hear anything on the yogurt?
No, but I expect to hear any time.
Well, I wouldn't get your hopes up.
Why do you say that?
No reason. Oh, how about that Dinkus?
Dinkus?
Ugh. So, hear anything on the yogurt?
No, but I expect to hear any time.
Well, I wouldn't get your hopes up.
Why do you say that?
No problem.
This is good. No problem is good. It's completely out of left field.
There's a couple different takes of Jerry learning fat. Michael does a couple different reactions and sits on the couch, reads a magazine, or does his little Michael thing. So some really nice bloopers from this episode as a whole, but also this scene in particular.
I actually don't remember the bloopers that well from season 5. I know them really well from the early seasons, but not the later ones. So we need to stay on our toes. I'll leave that to you actually, because you're a huge blooper fan.
I love the bloopers.
Mm-hmm. We should bring up one joke here, or at least attempt at a joke that is quite polarizing, and I wonder if it goes over most people's heads. Went way over my head just because I didn't know the term, but the term wilding.
So Kramer says, name tag, so people can go around saying hello to each other. And Jerry comes up with, oh, I see. So you can say, hey, you know who I saw wilding today? Herb.
And I like that joke without knowing what wilding means.
Right. Wilding sounds like a really innocent term.
Maybe something a little like mischievous, let's say.
Exactly. Yes.
But it's actually really dark. I think it was 1989 here. I have a few notes on it. There's like a group of young men, actually teenagers, 5 of them. They actually assaulted and raped a woman in Central Park. And I don't know if it became like a epidemic in New York at the time, but it was bad enough to have a term associated with it known as wilding. And yeah, that's just a really dark joke to throw in there.
Absolutely. I'm surprised it actually made it through and got on air. I have a feeling the censors or the execs didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
And it's just because it sounds like I'm going to say again, it sounds like an innocent term, but it's not.
Sorry to get so dark on this show here, but I think once you know what it means, it really stands out in a dark way.
It's jarring now when you hear it a second time after knowing the meaning.
So we're at a doctor's office here, and I feel like we've seen this exterior before.
I mentioned earlier that we didn't see Dr. Decter, and I didn't put together that this is Dr. Decter. I just thought it was some other doctor, so my bad.
Dr. Decter. George is really going the distance here, still lying about the arm, this time to a physician. And this is the scene that I was referencing earlier with Jason's acting this episode. He just makes it look so easy. The doctors examine George, look through his x-rays, and he doesn't think there's anything wrong with him, at least anything that would cause his arm to spasm. And I feel like that's a little jab from the doctor, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with you that would cause your arm to spasm. But not only is George lying, but the other guy knows he's lying, and George knows the guy knows he's lying.
And he's going to tell him to his face that he's lying.
And he continues to lie, exactly. I guess we got it earlier with Lloyd a little bit, but here this is a stranger. This is someone who doesn't know George.
What kind of a person would do a thing like that?
I don't know what kind of person would do something like that. Obviously, a very sick person, a very immature person, a person who has no regard for wasting other people's valuable time.
With each descriptor, a sick person, George gives this look as if to say, oh, that's true. A very immature person. Yep, that one's true too. He agrees with the doctor, and he realizes he's being called on his bullshit.
Yes, it's fantastic, and it ends perfectly. It's karma, really.
Yes. I said good day. Now see, doctor. And
sorry,
George bangs his arm for real on the desk. It could have just ended there, but as we'll see, wonderful writing from LD. It's gonna play a role in the next couple scenes. The doctor is played by actor Hugh A. Rose. He only has 4 acting credits, and they are as follows: The Equalizer, Seinfeld, Saved by the Bell, The New Class, and Dream On. So he stopped acting in the 90s, this guy.
Interesting. Not a super memorable performance, but he's got some great dialogue to work with here to really dress George down. Next scene, we're at Jerry's apartment, and Jerry and Elaine are debating whether they should march down to the yogurt shop. Right now, since they know there's fat in the yogurt, Jerry is definitely thinking, though, this could all be a massive conspiracy. And we get this news report here.
Rudy Giuliani, who underwent a physical last week, received some startling news today when his cholesterol count turned out to be a whopping 375. What effect this will have on the minds of the voters remains to be seen. In another development, Mayor Dinkins has fired his top advisor, Lloyd Braun, who was believed to be responsible for the name tag fiasco. We now take you to Giuliani headquarters, where Rudy Giuliani is about to make a statement.
It's hard to understand because I've been doing everything I normally do. I've been watching my diet very carefully. I exercise regularly. My only indulgence, I guess, would be that I eat a lot of frozen yogurt. But it's non-fat.
Fat yogurt? Oh my God, they got Giuliani and he doesn't even know it.
So here we go. Here's that bit of footage, the last thing that they needed to get before this episode was completed. Now, this is what confuses me. That vial, whatever was in it, whether it was the yogurt or someone else's blood, spilled into his blood, and his results came back with a whopping 375.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that vial that poured into his blood, is that what raised his cholesterol?
Yeah, well, it tainted the results in some way and gave this false reading, which was very, very high.
He adds, well, my only indulgence would be that I eat a lot of frozen yogurt. Now, we know the frozen yogurt has fat in it. So if that vial didn't spill in his blood, wouldn't he still have a high cholesterol because of the frozen yogurt?
Potentially, but if they've only been eating this for like a week, your cholesterol is not going to jump.
Right,
And
so his
that is
cholesterol would be high. It wouldn't be that high.
No, that's an astronomical number for cholesterol.
Okay.
But yeah, I see what you're saying. But no, the something tainted it to make it go that high.
And I guess the reason he has to be eating the frozen yogurt is because they have to connect it somehow to... Like, if he didn't eat the frozen yogurt, they'd just be like, wow, why is his cholesterol so high? And that's
Exactly.
it. So
Yeah.
they need to tie it in. I just thought I didn't pick up that 375 as such a high number. I thought it would have been that high anyways, just eating regular frozen yogurt.
No, yeah, I see what you're saying. But
what would it be,
wrong.
do you think, if someone's just out of shape, not eating good food?
So total cholesterol, you want less than 200.
All right, so this is nearly double, though, what the healthy recommended cholesterol would be.
Yeah.
So, they see this news report. They're like, oh, my God, Giuliani, it's almost like the situation has been exaggerated because of that vial spilling in there. His cholesterol would have been high, just wouldn't have been this high.
So a couple of things we need to talk about. The newscaster, who I always thought was an actual newscaster. He's not. He's an actor, but he's played by John Gabriel. And a lot of soap work he does. Days of Our Lives, Ryan's Hope, General Hospital. He was also on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. He was in a John Wayne movie, El Dorado. And he originally played the professor in the unaired pilot of Gilligan's Island.
Oh, there you go.
And then the other thing I want to gripe about is, what really grinds our gears here on Seincast? The Lloyd Braun picture they used for the over the shoulder is the casting.
Peter Kelligan?
Yes, is his cast is a headshot. So he's got the really like suave haircut and the face of like a Derek Zoolander type face where the cheeks are kind of sunken in a little bit, and they're using that for as a political advisor's picture.
Yeah, it's
they couldn't
bad.
take another picture. Like that always stands out to me.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's like a flock of seagulls kind of hairdo, like
Exactly.
doo-wop or something.
And take a picture.
Before we get out of the scene too, Jerry grabs the phone and he's like, or at least you hear him say, "I'm calling Giuliani's headquarters." And I feel like this line comes out of nowhere because his lips aren't moving. It's an ADR, but I guess they didn't have a cutaway shot. So it kind of goes unnoticed, I think, for like the casual fan. But just look at his lips in this scene and you'll see they're not moving at all. We go over to the Costanzas. George is elated, just starts making fun of Lloyd and the name tag idea once again.
Name tags.
Frank, of course, likes the idea. Thinks everyone would be a lot friendlier with name tags.
Hello, Sam. How you doing, Joe? It's so sweet, his reasoning behind the name tags. I like it.
Suddenly, George's arm spasms into the lampshade, and he realizes, oh, God, the spasms. That wasn't on purpose.
I banged it on the desk in the doctor's office, and he's genuinely concerned now that he does have this spasm.
Yes, and the audience picks up on it immediately. They're just, but before he can, actually talk about what happened, his parents shush him. Giuliani's back on the air. It turns out Jerry called the campaign staff. I don't know how that happened. And he told them about the fat content in the yogurt. And now Giuliani promises, his new platform is, I'm going to cleanse the city of falsified non-fat yogurt. That's his big campaign promise. And sure enough, we cut to I don't want to say the non-fat yogurt shop. It's just the regular, it is the non-fat yogurt shop now, right?
Yeah.
It's all non-fat. The gang, all four, are sitting in a practically empty shop. Newman's in the back. And the new fat-free yogurt is terrible. No one's enjoying it.
Feh.
Yes.
Stinks. And as we mentioned earlier, a lot of bloopers, great bloopers come from this show, and here is probably one of the best ones. Mouthful of yogurt and all.
This is terrible.
Fat.
That's good. All right. I'm fine. Hey,
Still rolling.
oh, she's rolling. It's the blooper.
Okay, go.
There we go.
Okay, go.
All right.
Go.
Yeah, she's. Yeah, I'm eating a lot of.
Okay. Okay, go.
Come on. We won an Emmy, you know.
Yeah, but I didn't.
Yeah, come on.
Anytime when Julia's reduced to tears because she's laughing so heavily, it just warms my heart.
Mm-hmm.
So I love this blooper for that reason.
Yeah, and of course, like Michael's like, oh God. Actually, everyone knows. Oh no, Julia's laughing.
Yeah, here we go. There's a lot of here we goes. A lot of here comes the blooper, and then Michael even says, "I'm eating a lot of this shit."
And that last line too, Julia has that comeback to Jerry saying, "Come on, we won an Emmy, but I didn't."
Right.
Wayne Knight loves that. He's just cracking up in the background.
Right. Awesome.
Let's move on to the scene proper. We got yet another clip here. This is once, everyone's just really upset about this disgusting non-fat yogurt.
Jerry, thanks a lot. I hope you're happy.
It had fat in it. It's not good for you.
I don't care. It was good. I was enjoying it. Had to interfere. Couldn't leave well enough alone. Well, I will get even with you for this.
Hey, you guys, listen to this. Apparently some blood spilled into Mr. Giuliani's test tube, causing his cholesterol count to be 150 points higher than was initially reported. Ironically, the mishap, by bringing the non-fat yogurt scandal to the attention of the public, probably clinched the election for the Republican. It was the one issue which seemed to electrify the voters and swept Giuliani into office.
So in effect, the yogurt won him the election.
I wonder what actually happened in that lab.
Yeah, me too.
I can't eat this.
Thanks for ruining my daddy's business, you fat
And here's Matthew bringing it home with the cursing. I love that line. I like that actually more than Jerry's. What are you doing, you little...
Oh, really?
Yeah, piece of shit. There's something about...
children swearing.
There's something...
kicks.
It's that term fat that just...
Oh, that is a fun one.
It goes so well together. Susie says that to Jeff so many times on Curb.
True.
Even calls Larry a four-eyed
Yeah.
It's those F's.
But my thing is Jerry, who one of the cleanest comedians around, to see him swear and hit that comedic pitch while swearing, that's what does it for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's something to be said about each one.
I think most would agree with you, though, just because it is Jerry, the star of the show. You know, it's funny, too, about this scene, and I never would have noticed it if it weren't thanks to the DVDs, but there's a deleted scene here, which isn't really all that interesting, but we get a final appearance by Lloyd Braun.
Mm-hmm.
And you can actually see a little bit of Lloyd in the final broadcast version when Newman storms out and says, "I can't eat this." There's someone right ahead of him in
a trench coat.
And sure enough, that's the end of Lloyd Braun's scene earlier. There wasn't really much to it. He pretty much just tells George to, hey, knock off the elbow crap. He spoke to the doctor.
And he also gives Elaine a little crap for name tags, really?
Yes.
You know.
Ultimately, though, I think this is just such a wonderfully produced episode, though. Just how all the pieces, were moving in parallel with the New York mayoral election to actually come to this moment here where Elaine gets to say, read from the newspaper, Giuliani won. This is just 2 days after the election. Like, that's crazy topical.
Right. And I mean, we always talk about any topical reference in Seinfeld going back to, like, it's Hammer Time, and that Larry not liking that. And maybe that was because of his more pop culture versus this is more historical, that they wanted to include this. And it was such a big thing in New York at the time.
It's funny how things worked out, because I think Giuliani, I mean, the elephant in the room obviously is 9/11, and how he's just so connected with that event in New York at the time.
Yeah.
It just seems like, wow, if there was one mayor that they were going to do an entire episode about or have it center around, it's crazy that they chose Giuliani, or Giuliani was the mayor at the time, because he's just probably the most iconic New York mayor of the past, hell, I don't know, 50 years ever. Who knows?
And it's funny, or maybe a shame, but I always liked him growing up as a kid because of this role on Seinfeld. And I'm like, oh, he must be really cool to do that, you know? So I knew nothing about his politics, nor do I still. But
that's really the questions they should be asking at presidential debates. Like, where do you stand on Seinfeld?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the old man episode? And that'll be my predictor.
Yes. All right, let's move on to stand-up.
There's nothing more fun than cursing when you're a kid. I mean, it's like getting the keys to the car, isn't it? You're doing something you're not supposed to do, and that's all you want. And there's nothing less fun than when you're an adult and having to use those wholesome curses. Fudge. Sugar. Consarnate. What the hell is consarnate anyway? I mean, you stub your toe when you say consarnate, you might as well say yippee! But if you've ever been to a foreign country, the first thing you learn are the curse words, right? Travel halfway around the world to experience some centuries-old exotic civilization. The first thing you ask is, how do they say duty here?
Jerry will always be a kid at heart, and that will always come out in his comedy. And I wanted to ask you, what would your swear word of choice be when you were growing up?
Well, I treated swearing like rungs on a ladder. You know, I didn't go straight to or shit. I started small, crap, then damn, then I think bastard probably.
So you remember that, huh?
I remember like every time I said a new swear word, I'd feel really bad.
Oh, me too.
And I'd be like, oh no, like I said it.
It's
like,
hell.
But I think as a kid though, my favorite was probably shit.
Crap, boots, crap. So I never swore as a kid. I was just terrified of what would happen to me if I swore. But jerk was a word I threw. That would be what I called people. You're such a jerk. Quit being a jerk. And then the first time I said fucking shit, it was liberating. But at the same time, I was like, what's going to happen? Like I'm looking around to see like, is lightning going to strike me? And then since then, I've gotten over it. But the only word I would use for the longest time was jerk. Once I started to get friends, the expletives came out. Learning a lot.
Bad influences. I don't like those friends of yours. I don't want you hanging out with those friends anymore.
So, what do you think?
I don't know about you, man, but I'm having trouble with some of these episodes because, you know, I love them to death. They're so quotable. Larry David, some of his best work. I just don't know where to throw it on the top 20, if at all.
Right. This one, again, I enjoy watching the episode, but having to analyze this episode, that was what was hard for me this week.
This one felt like we were bouncing around a lot. Maybe we're in a funky mood, but...
It could be that, or maybe because all the trivia that was involved, we had to kind of establish that. But yeah, this one doesn't have the same Larry David flow that it normally does.
Great episode. We're not saying
it's
a bad
I love
one.
watching this one, but this doesn't crack my top 20.
Yeah, I don't think it cracks my top 20 either. I think I'm going to give it pretty good to gold, though. I mean, it's definitely solid.
I'd agree with that.
But in terms of a final rating here, I'm going to give it 9 fat out of 10.
I love that rating solely for the unit of measure you used.
What about you?
I feel the exact same way as you, Matt. And I really enjoyed this episode. If it's on, I'm going to watch it. I'll never skip it in the rotation. But this one was a little bit hard to get through. And for that reason, again, pretty good and to gold. But I'm going to give it 8.5 pieces of out of 10.
Newman is a delight this episode. Michael has some great performances, some great little like terms and one-liners. Yep. I just find the whole conspiracy arc and the whole mayor thing a little clunky. I think they did a great job, production-wise. It's incredible what they eventually pulled off, but it just doesn't flow the way like a typical Larry David script flows.
Are they even in the monks at all during this episode?
That's a good question. They are.
Because they're meeting at the yogurt shop. That has replaced monks in this episode.
Mm-hmm. You're right. So no monks.
And I know you were never a big fan of this is in case there's a tie.
Yeah.
That was a weird one.
One always bugged me, yeah.
Yeah, and I see what you mean about it.
And also, despite what I said earlier, like I kind of found that's what helps. The good thing about going over these episodes in depth with you like this is I really do change my opinion on a lot of things when I'm just watching it on my own. And I was going into this episode actually liking Lloyd Braun. I'm like, oh, he's not that bad of a guy. Like George just has some beef with him. But yeah, he really is a piece of shit. And so that's another reason why now I kind of don't like the episode, because I don't like that character. And he did get fired, so he got his comeuppance, but...
And he's going to get more, as we'll see in the next 2 episodes. Yeah, and I think most people enjoy Matt McCoy.
Yeah.
His portrayal of Lloyd,
Yeah, Peter does a really good job, I think, playing that slick, kind of smug aide, to the mayor that I don't think Matt McCoy could have pulled off. I think Matt McCoy plays a better, like he's got a few loose wires.
Right.
And I prefer definitely that characterization more than this one.
Right.
But yeah, great episode. Just didn't crack that top 20, unfortunately.
Yeah, same for me. That's going to do it for us here on Seincast this week. Please feel free to reach out to us, seincast@gmail.com. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram.
Vinny, what fucking episode do we got next week?
That's enough. No more swearing.
All right, that's it.
We're over with the swears. Next week, we're discussing the 8th episode from Season 5, The Barber.
I was watching that Edward Scissorhands. That's a Johnny Depp here making me cry.
You're making me cry, too.
But for now, I'm Matt.
I'm Vinny.
Ciao. Seincast is not endorsed by Castle Rock Entertainment, Sony Pictures, or NBC. It is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Seinfeld, the Seinfeld logo, and all names, pictures, and audio of Seinfeld characters are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of their respective trademark and copyright holders.
This is so f***ing good.
Every word out of my son's mouth now is Where's my f***ing cupcake?
Does that have any fat in it?
No way.
He's a funny
What the you doing, you little piece of
Thanks for ruining my daddy's business, you fat